I've made over $2 million with Airbnb management since I started. Our net revenue is nearly $10 million, and this is after Airbnb have taken their fees. I've hosted nearly 10,000 bookings, and I've hosted more than 55,000 nights. My profit margin is around 20 to 30%, but let's go on the conservative side. That is $2 million plus in profit. And in today's video, my promise to you is I'm going to show you how you can make $10,000 per month on as little as 90 days, even if you are retarded. The reason I say that is because it's ridiculously simple. And it boils down to 3 simple steps. It doesn't matter if you have any prior experience. You don't even need to own the properties or even rent them. This method has literally 0 risk and 0 upfront cost. That is because we're using a little known loophole in Airbnb called Airbnb management, which by the way is a $40 billion industry, and it is only growing year on year. We'll get back to that all in a second, but first, what are the steps you need to actually start making money with this? Step 1 is finding the landlords, and this is the secure phase. This is when you actually get the properties on board. Step 2 is pitching your offer and closing the deal. This is when you can start to list them. And step 3 is when you manage the listings. This is when you host it on Airbnb, Booking.com, etc. Now, before we get into the whole video, there's something else you need to understand. You see, there are tons of business models out there, and the truth is, they all work. Yet most people approach it completely wrong. They want to build an entire online business from scratch when they've never even made a single dollar before. That is why we're not building an entire business from scratch. We are leveraging a multi-billion-dollar ecosystem that already exists, and it's called Airbnb. And it doesn't matter if you have property or even have experience, because we are leveraging a well-known loophole called Airbnb management. So let me explain how it works. And by the way, if you just want to speed run the whole process and start making money right away, then click the link below and check if you qualify. Now let's get into it. Now there's a few common misconceptions when getting started with Airbnb management. The first one is that you need to own property. And we just touched on it a little bit, but you do not need to own property to start with Airbnb management. You're managing other people's properties. That means you don't need to own them, you don't need to rent them, you don't need to buy them. You're managing other people's properties, landlords that own them. Then there's a financial investment. People think you have to have loads of money to get started with Airbnb management, but no, you can literally start with 0. It does not require any upfront investment. Once you've set up the company, which is very minimal in most locations, actually setting up an Airbnb for Airbnb management costs completely 0 to you. All the costs get put onto the landlord. And that is why it's such a good business model. You can do this without wasting loads of money at the start. There is a thing called rent to rent as well, which you might have seen online, which a lot of people teach, but that requires about 2 to 5K to start up. Airbnb management, big fat 0, and that is why I love it even more. And it is super scalable. You can scale as fast as you want to. As long as you get the leads in, it's game over. So let's just talk about the opportunity a little bit. The Airbnb market is an $180 billion market. That is how much they are pulling in on Airbnb and short-term lets. The part of the market that we can leverage is this part here, the 20% management fees, which is a $40 billion segment of the entire market. You can see these articles here, Airbnb's surge. The Airbnb superhosts collectively earned $23 billion between October 2021 and September 2022. In just 1 year, Airbnb management companies, which only makes up 34%, so Airbnb superhosts are just 34% of the total market, made $23 billion in management fees. And it is only getting bigger. So we are going to piggyback on this growing industry and start managing people's properties. Now let's get into those steps that we talked about. Step 1, finding landlords. This is the secure section. This is where we find the deals. Now, first thing you want to do is check out your current network. No one talks to their current network. Friends, family, housemates, literally everyone you know, tell them you're starting an Airbnb management business. Some people might turn their nose up, but do not worry about it. Tell everyone you know, post across Facebook, Instagram, everything, because that is where all your clients are. Your first property is way closer than you think it is. So once you've leveraged your current network, then we need to look at getting a new network. And where can we find them? We can find them at property network events. So in the UK, you can use a website called Eventbrite, which you can literally put in property network events in Manchester, and it'll pull up a number of different events. But the key is you don't just need to go to property network events. You can also go to investor ones, business ones, property ones, developer ones. You can also find them literally by Googling. So if you're in Miami, if you're in Manchester, in the UK, US, Australia, Dubai, we have clients everywhere. All you need to do is type in investor networking events in X location, which could be Australia, could be Miami, etc. And you'll find networking events in your area. The important part is though, don't just go to property ones. Go to investor, business, property, and developer ones. Now, the key thing is the positioning at the event. So you need to position yourself as the exit strategy. So many people go to these events and just start selling straight away. Don't sell to people. People buy from people. All you need to do is go in there, be a friendly person, talk to everyone. I can't stress how important this is. Talk to every single person in the room, ask them what they're doing, ask them if they have any properties, ask them if they've got a deal on the go, what their plan is. And if genuinely you want someone to ask you what you do, don't be the guy who walks into a room, hey, I'm Daniel, I do X, Y, Z, can I offer you my services? No. You want to walk into the room, say, hey, how's it going? Be friendly, build rapport, see what they've got going on, see if they've got any property deals going on at the moment. And then when they say, yeah, actually we've got this property in development, or it's going through a refurb, or yeah, we've got a few rentals ourselves, you just position yourself as the exit strategy. Literally ask them, what is their plan after they finish the refurb, or what is their plan after they, with the current tenant in place? And then that is where you can position yourself and offer Airbnb management. The next place we can find our landlords is OpenRent, Gumtree, Facebook, and other websites as well. OpenRent in the UK is great for finding properties, so you can literally type in properties to rent in Manchester. There's 674 properties, and this is direct to landlords. Every single one here is direct to landlord, and you just need to position yourself and give some free value. That is literally as easy as it is. Reach out, offer some sort of free value, try to get to a viewing, try to talk to the landlord, because if you can make them more money and less stress, then they are going to work with you. It is literally as simple as that. Gumtree, another great place. You can also find loads of ads there. And Facebook Marketplace, you can do this throughout the whole world. Manchester, you can do it in the UK, London, you can do it in the US, you can do it in Australia, Dubai, everywhere. There are properties on Facebook Marketplace. So get yourself on there as well. And the final one as well, meta ads. We teach meta ads inside our academy, and oh my gosh, the return on investment is crazy. We had Matty yesterday on one of the calls, just started with me about 4 months ago. He's literally getting 3 to 4 leads a week, and all he spends is £300 a month on ads. £300 a month, 3 to 4 leads a week. Each lead is worth £1,000 a month. Imagine that. Imagine that ROI. So if you've got a bit of money, I've got a bit of spare capital you can invest, meta ads is a great place to start. But you can get a lot of stuff for free as well from OpenRent, Gumtree, Facebook, and obviously your current network and new network events. So the last one is letting agents or estate agents. Now you can phone them up, which is a bit meh. You can visit them, which is actually a lot better than phoning them up. I would highly recommend visiting estate agents. But the important part is, well, Dan, aren't these guys already letting properties out? Yes, but are they doing Airbnb management? Estate agents and letting agents get a lot of people that come into their office asking for Airbnb management, but if they don't provide it, then what do? They pass it on to someone else, and that is where you step in. You want to offer an affiliate or referral program. Every single property that gets referred from the letting agent can be cash in their pocket or a percentage of the management fee for the next 12 months. So an example is, with certain letting agents, if they pass me an Airbnb management deal, they get 10% of the management fee for the next 12 months. Now, where do we find agents? Find them on Rightmove, and you can also find them on Zillow if you're in the US as well, another alternative. But there's 4,500 results just in Manchester alone on Rightmove. We've obviously already spoken about OpenRent, which is really good for the UK. If you're in the US, you can go on Zillow. So if we just pull up Zillow, this is what Zillow looks like, and you can see all the listings everywhere over here. These are all estate agents, letting agents. Some of them are direct to landlord as well. If long as you can provide value, then you can get one of these on Airbnb management. They are literally sat empty. All these properties are currently sat empty in Miami. You know how easy it is to rent a property on Airbnb in Miami? So easy, especially if it's peak season. So back to here. You got Zillow, which is also a good one. And also you can find properties on Airbnb. Don't forget about Airbnb. That is literally where landlords are sitting. And if you can provide some sort of value to them, so if you see an underperforming listing on Airbnb, you can reach out, offer some free information, offer a new free Airbnb evaluation, and you'll be surprised at how many landlords will actually be very responsive to that. And they will actually really enjoy it that you've just offered them some free value. So I would definitely recommend going onto Airbnb, looking at a few properties, and then offering some advice. If we go onto Airbnb now, I can show you how I would do it. So you can see here, I'm on homes in London on Airbnb. I mean, straight off the bat, we've got this house here with the worst photos. I mean, what is that? They've literally got a circle on one of the photos. This is like, honestly, one of the easiest things we can do to save a listing for a landlord. First thing I'd be doing, I'd be reaching out to a landlord, offering them some free advice. Ying, I need to help you. You hosted for 7 years and you don't have professional photos. Let's see how booked this place is. And to be fair, I mean, this just shows you how easy Airbnb management is. Look how booked it is with photos like this. When people say it's hard to get bookings on Airbnb, this person, no offense Ying, has a property or a room in Greater London that's booked out for a lot of the year, November, December, long-term booking, and the photos are terrible. I mean, vertical photos don't perform well on Airbnb, simple for the algorithm. If these were professional photos, we could charge way more per night. I don't know what she's got, I don't know what they've got on at the moment, but if we just check their price per night, Currently got, this place is going for £129 a night. Now we could easily double that if we just got professional photos. Next up, we haven't got the bed split up. There's literally no description. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that is on Airbnb. I feel bad for picking on this one, but if I can pick on some more as well. These are the kind of people you want to reach out to. We go in Dubai, which is currently where I'm based. Even in Dubai, there are so many listings, but there's so many that can do so much better. Like, this is more like it. Look, nice professional photos, makes it look way better. And these are the ones that actually get booked, as you can probably tell. That is not a good first photo, so I would not recommend that. There's so many properties that lack professional photos. Even this one here, you can get way better photos. The order of this photos is all wrong. And you can see how easy it is just by being on Airbnb for literally a few minutes, how easy it will be to reach out to these landlords and just offer some free advice. If it's currently a management agent, that's obviously harder. You need to pick properties that are managed by a landlord. But yeah, there are so many opportunities to get into Airbnb management, and a lot of the properties are actually set on Airbnb waiting for you to help them out. So that's step one. That is how you find landlords. That is how you secure your deals. Current network, leverage your current network, leverage a new network going to these different events. Find the landlords directly on places like OpenRent, Zillow, Gumtree, Facebook. Facebook ads, if you can do them correctly, if you get taught by the right people, you can get leads for so little. So Matty is an example, joined my academy just over 3 months ago, gets literally 3 to 4 leads a week, spends £300 a month, spending like literally £5 a day to get 3 or 4 leads a week. Those leads can make him literally £1,000 a month. So you can see the return on investment there. Letting agents, don't just phone them, make sure you visit them as well. Visiting them builds rapport, people sell to people. It is genuinely so easy to get a property on Airbnb management if you just actually talk to someone and utilize this affiliate program or referral program. Not enough people do that, so you need to start utilizing that. You can use websites like Rightmove, OpenRent, Zillow, and go straight to Airbnb as well. So the second step is pitching your offer. So obviously the offer is Airbnb management, but what does that actually look like? Now, there's a couple of options here. The first one is full Airbnb management, and this is like a turnkey operation. You are handling everything. You are handling listings, pricings, guests, cleaners, reviews, so the guests checking in, checking out. You got the cleaners organizing them going in, the review management, the pricing, and then also putting the listings on all the platforms. Now the landlord earns completely passive income with monthly reports. You basically send them a breakdown at the end of the month, you take in all the money, and at the end of the month, you distribute what is left after your management fee. You position it as that you stay the owner and we will run the business and make the money. There are loads of optional upsells as well, so you can upsell interior design, staging, amenities, and direct booking support as well. We charge a 5% direct booking commission on top of our management fee. So similar to how Airbnb or Booking.com charge 15 to 18%, we charge 5%, and that goes back into marketing, which then brings more bookings in. That's for a bit down the line. Second option, instead of full management, is co-hosting. This is more for a hands-on owner, so the owner actually does a bit more, and it's more of a partnership rather than you taking over fully. You manage the online, the guest side, whilst the landlord maintains the property itself and handles the property setup. So this is more for like your DIY owners who want the expert support, but not like the full handover. You can use the phrase, we do the digital, but you can keep control of the asset, and you can manage the asset. Optional upsells could include pricing strategy, guest messaging, and cleaning coordination. Realistically, the guest messaging and the pricing strategy will be included in the co-hosting, but cleaning coordination sometimes you can put onto the landlord as well. So how do we actually position these two offers? How do we actually set our pricing so that it does convert these landlords? I would use a hybrid model, so charging 14 to 22% plus VAT, plus a small monthly fee. So if we do an example here, I charge 14% plus VAT for 12 months, 18% plus VAT for 6 months, 22% plus VAT for 12 months, and then the small monthly fee is like a minimum fee. So if we get no bookings, we still charge £150. You might be thinking, Dan, that's a bit unfair if you charge £150. In reality, we always get bookings. There's always enough to cover that management cost. But in the event that we don't, we still get paid for all the subscriptions that we have and all the staff that we have. And if you ever want to exit your Airbnb business and you want to sell it for money, this creates value in the contract. So it's very important that you have the right contracts, and we obviously offer contracts to everyone who joins our academy, fully looked over by solicitors. But if you don't have the right contracts, you're not creating value either in your business, so you can never even sell it anyway. The point is, we are building an actual business rather than just a little side hustle, and that is how we hit those 10K a month. We can add a setup fee in there, so normally $250 to $750. This is about $500 US to $1,000 US for onboarding and value creation. So if you ever get a kickback from that, landlord's like, what's the onboarding fee for? That is for your time to set up the listing on Airbnb, Booking.com, all these other websites. and do an initial marketing campaign as well to actually try and get some bookings in. Some offer tiers you could like follow if you wanted to would be basic co-hosting is around 10%, standard could be 18%, and you could have a premium that's 25% that includes additional extras as well, like the interior design, the staging, or some help in the interior design. I would always, if you're going to offer interior design or staging, I would offer it as a completely separate fee. And this is the beautiful thing about Airbnb management. You could actually find a property through one of the ways I've just told you there. So to find the property, it's cost you zero, big fat $0. You've reached out to letting agents, you've gone there, maybe spent a tiny bit of money on fuel, or you've walked to an estate agent. Let's say you've got a deal through an affiliate, you haven't paid them yet because you are doing it through the percentage fee of the first 12 months. So you've done the affiliate, you've cost $0 to get this listing. Now you direct the landlord. The landlord needs a property staging. You can charge 2.5K to 5K for staging and interior design. So before you even take the property on, and you've got the onboarding fee there as well, it's about 1K. So before you even take the property on, you could be making 6K, 5 plus 1, 6K off one property before it even goes live. And then you've got the 1K per month management fee. And this is the beautiful thing about Airbnb management. Zero upfront cost because you just got to get off your ass and do stuff. And then you can charge the interior design and staging fee, the 1K a month. Happy days, we're all laughing. Now that's how we pitch the offer in terms of listing it on Airbnb. Now let's say we've got the landlord over the line. They've jumped onto one of our tiers, 14 to 22% plus VAT. Now we get into actually managing the listing. So this is where we're actually hosting. So you can see, first step, find the landlord. Second step, pitch the offer, get the deal over the line. Third step, managing the listing. This is where we are hosting the property on Airbnb. Now you only really need 3 apps to do this, which might sound crazy, but like I say, this is how to get 10K a month within 90 days, even if you're retarded. And this is literally how you can do that. First thing you need, PMS or channel manager. I use Guesty, it's the best one out there. It's got the maximum visibility. You can see here, this is what it would look like. I've obviously blurred off the names, but this is our crew portfolio. You can see my properties down the left-hand side. And then these green lines here are all bookings that are in there. These ones here mean these are all direct bookings. So not only do I get bookings through Airbnb, Booking.com, Vrbo, I also get direct bookings. And the beautiful thing about this, no commission, landlord makes more, I make more, everyone's happy. Now what actually is a channel manager? What does it do? So first off, it has a centralized calendar, and this means that all your listings are synced. There's no double bookings. So this means that if I get a booking on Airbnb, it will block out those dates on Booking.com, Vrbo, and any other online travel agent that I'm on. First thing then, centralized book calendar, no double bookings. Next up, multi-platform distribution. Kind of links to the first one, like I say. This allows you to post the property on Airbnb, Booking.com, Vrbo, Expedia, and way more. We're not just posting the property on Airbnb. We want maximum visibility so more people can see us, more people can book us, and we can all make some more money. Next thing, really important, is a unified inbox. This is where you can manage all the guest messages in one place. Good thing about Guesty as well, has an AI integration with it, so you can actually have AI answering guest messages as well within there. You also can link your WhatsApp, so you don't have to go onto any of the platforms. You control it all from within your channel manager, which is Guesty. Automated messages, you can send confirmations, the check-in info, and all the FAQs automatically. If someone asks about the parking, you can automatically reply with an automated message. And this is the thing about how hands-off it can be. An app like this is just one of the apps. I'm about to get into 2 more. One app does all these things. We've not even gone through it yet. So the next thing, smart check-in. Automate guest arrivals with digital access. They can automatically get them. Same with smart locks. It'll all automatically generate the code and give it to the guest. IDs and deposits. You can collect your guest IDs, hold security deposits so you're more safe as well. Also get the guest to sign the rental agreements so it can send and sign digital contracts before check-in. And that's all done within Guesty. The second tool, very important tool, is dynamic pricing. I use a thing called Price Labs. Now this software will automatically price your units, so you don't have to do anything. So this software is going to make sure all the guests are happy. It's automatically, they're getting replied to straight away. You've got a centralized inbox, getting no double bookings. And this software is going to make sure you're getting paid enough. So this is going to automatically adjust prices based on demand in the area and what's going on, how other people's properties are performing. You can see, got my properties down the left-hand side here. You can see all these prices are synced, and you can see when they were last synced. That means that it's synced to the channel manager. So Price Labs is going to link to Guesty, and then the prices on Price Labs will get put into Guesty, and they'll get published to Airbnb, Booking.com, Vrbo, etc. You can see here we set a base price. We can see the total occupancy. We need some work on that one, but you can see these other ones as well. Really good stuff. This is actually a new property we've just taken on, which makes sense. But you can see the other ones got 100% occupied in these locations, 57%, 57%, etc. And you can see these are block nights, and then these are nights that are still open. But if you just look at the actual prices of the nights that are open, look at the fluctuations. This weekend is at 119, next weekend 114. You can see even throughout the week, 98, 109, 109, 109, and these are automatically getting pushed to Guesty every single day. You can also see some manual price changes here to try and generate some last minute bookings. Now, in terms of price tabs, we've been through a little bit already, but main thing is dynamic pricing. That's what I said about adjusting the nightly rate, automatically using real-time demand, events, and market data. Market dashboard, you can track your average rates, your occupancy, revenue trends in your specific areas, which is really important as you start to expand. It becomes very easy when you have certain properties in certain areas. You know what you can, when you come to analyze a new property, you know how it's going to perform, and then you can coordinate. Then you can act accordingly on that property with back data as well. Custom rules, you can set your own pricing limits, length of stays. So you also adjust how long someone can stay. So we have minimum stays. Our minimum stays change quite a lot, and you'll see if you go back to here, we've got 2-night minimum at this property, but we've got 3-night minimum here, 2-night on the weekend, 2-night on the weekend, but in this property here, there's 4 nights. So depending on the location, depending on the type of guest you are hosting, means you have to fluctuate your minimum stay. Minimum stay is how long someone can book the actual property. You can also put discount strategies on there, so you'll see these are manual discount strategies that we've put in. Portfolio analytics, really good for monitoring your performance across all the properties in one centralized dashboard. Similar to how we've put all of our guest bookings into one platform, this is putting all of our pricing, all our revenue into one platform as well. Integrations, I've already said, it syncs with the top PMS tools, which for me is Guesty. PMS, for those who don't remember, is a property management system, or a channel manager, which is this one here. Now the final app that not many people have actually heard of, and this is insane. If you don't have this app in your Airbnb business, whether you have properties or not, then you are behind everyone in my academy, because everyone in my academy has this app because it is genuinely incredible. The app is called SuiteOp, and it's an operations platform. So first app, this one is going to centralize all the guests. This one centralize all the revenue. This one centralize all the operations. Now what do the operations include? In automated tasks, so assigning cleans, maintenance, property inspections accordingly, and that will do it automatically as well. Smart scheduling, so it will sync with the bookings in Guesty or in your channel manager to trigger tasks based on check-in and check-out times. It will also automatically allocate those tasks to the correct cleaner, the correct maintenance person, the correct property inspection person if you want to do property inspections. The check-in forms on SuiteOp, and the check-in process is divine. You collect guest details, IDs, arrival info before each stay. And a beautiful thing about SuiteOp is the digital guides. You send a custom check-in instructions, house manuals, and local tips automatically once the guest has completed all the verification steps. This integrates directly with your PMS or channel manager for real-time tasks updates. This is what it looks like. This is an analytics section, but you can see you got your reservation section. It'll automatically look at your reviews. And the crazy thing about SuiteOp, right, it actually reads all of your reviews, and with AI, will generate tasks based on the review. So say, for example, the paint in one property kept coming up in a review. It will actually create a task for your maintenance team to go and paint that property, and it will schedule it because it's linked to the calendar. You can see the portal as well, which is a guest portal. So we have data on how many times people open the portal. We've got tasks. You can track the number of tasks all your team are doing, and staff performance. How fast are those tasks actually achieved? A little dashboard here. We can go through nights sold in this period, a number of confirmed bookings, the lead times. This is how far in advance people are booking. The average daily rate for this booking period, the 30+ days confirmation days, so how many bookings are actually booking more than 30 days in advance, how many check-ins we've had, how many checkouts we've had, how many cancellations we've had. This is incredibly useful data, and it's actually one of the best tools out there. So if you don't have it, then you definitely need it. But that is it. It is genuinely that simple. There's 3 simple steps to go. You have find the landlords, and we've already been through how easy it is to find landlords. This is genuinely a lot easier than people think. Like I say, I've just given you all the ways you can do it for free. There's some paid versions of Meta ads as well, but most of my Academy members get deals within 2 weeks of joining. Next up, pitch your offer. This is where you actually pitch the Airbnb management, work out what your pricing is going to be, and list it online. And then step 3, you just got to manage the listing. And these 3 apps will make it so easy to manage your listings that literally anyone can do it. Hopefully you found that video useful, and if you did, please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.